How you doing? Bree here with Ginger in the Desert Creations. Now, I like me some functional art. So, what I am doing today, I have seen Melly D do on her channel. I am going to do an acrylic pour, a ring pour, on a toilet tank lid. Let's go paint. All right. Our odd change of pace acrylic ring pour toilet tank cover. This is about an 18 by 9 inches. I have already done a base coat of just straight up Mont black, and it's a little bit tacky, but it's almost dry. I scuffed up the surface before I put the base coat on, because I wanted to give it something to adhere to because it was nice and shiny and whatever. And we just have to destroy slick, shiny surfaces. And then I paint over it. I've let it dry. That'll provide something for the paint to actually grab onto, even though it is going to slope like crazy because this is not a flat surface. Now, with it being 9 by 18, if we wanted to cover the complete surface, it would require about 6 ounces of paint. And we have somewhere around a 5 something or other beaker here. I am not going to use all of that because I don't intend to actually cover the whole surface. I intend to just cover portions of it and leave some negative space. And that's why I've covered the whole thing in black. Other than the reason that I don't want unfortunate sort of cream color to show through at the wrong place. I've selected 6 colors for this. So we have DecoArt True Blue, Creative Inspirations Sky Blue, Marte black, just nice basic black there. Pebeo silver, FolkArt metallic amethyst, and Mont Viridian. All of these paints are roughly mixed 2 parts Floetrol, 1 part paint. Some of them, well, most of them have about 10% of the weight in Sunnyside M1 Latex Paint additive. I also have about 10 drops of Minwax Wood Conditioner in each color because I like what it does. So let's try this thing, shall we? Now, I know a lot of it's going to slide off, and I'm hoping to just get it composed into something that looks good in the finished product. But we shall see. So I want to start with the silver because I, in theory, like the idea of having a little flash of color that I know that signals where the end of the pour is in the process so that I know and I can try to form my center and catch the drip so that I don't ruin the center, even though I don't know how well it's going to go because I've only done a few of these. Starting with silver. That's quite a bit of silver. Okay, and I'm going to go with the True Blue. I am trying to just layer it and not necessarily dirty pour it, but I don't know if that will all cooperate or not. Go with a dose of the Amethyst. And the Viridian. Almost dirty poured that one. Got to be careful. And sky blue on that one. And then just a drizzle of the black, because we're just trying to add a little bit of flavor and not trying to take it over. Because there's already going to be enough black in the full painting. Let's start over again with the silver. I'm going to pour it because I want decently sized bands on this. I think, because I would like each color to be fairly well represented. And I should be careful about dripping on this because I don't want to cover the whole thing with color. But I'm being a little bit uncautious. Touch of the amethyst. Touch of the Viridian. Portion of the sky blue, and then I am going to finish it off with a decent dose of black because that's going to become the outer ring and that should just blend in nicely with the background, I will hope. Now I have this supported up on a bus box that is upturned because my usual baking sheet drying rack couldn't handle this weight because this thing is heavy. So, are we ready to ring that thing? I'm nervous. I like functional art, but I feel like I'm going to destroy something. Let's go anyway. Here we go. And ring it. Here comes the amethyst. I'm going to move it up a little bit because it's already moving off of that side, and yeah, we don't necessarily want to lose it before we've even started. I really squiggled that. Let's see if I can save it. That's got a spiral. Hey, little spiral. Now I'm going to try to move it side to side because it is already going the other direction on its own. I'm trying to do it delicately so that I can keep some of the circles. Before I stretch it anymore, I'm going to actually kiss it with the heat. Coming back the other way. Open it up a little more. Get rid of a little bit of this black that's in here because I kind of got some black gray going on that I'm not necessarily that crazy about. And I am moving painfully slowly and carefully, trying not to screw it up. We want to kind of stretch out the paint as much as possible because it's going to keep dripping and it's going to keep moving. So the thinner that we intentionally get the paint, in theory, the better the finished product will look once it dries. Once it decides what it's going to ultimately do and set up looking like. My goodness, this is heavy! I'm just going to kind of keep walking it back and forth until I'm happy with the way all of the lines look. It looks like the iridescence is kind of spread out just about everywhere. It looks like there's sheen pretty much everywhere. Look at those silver stripes. Uh-oh. I am going to have to repaint that where I just put all kinds of funky stuff into the paint. But this is about where I'm going to leave this, I think. Let's kiss it with the flame again. Just to make sure we got all the air bubbles out. If there's any point in doing the sides because they will continue to drip, and I know they will. That is interesting. I think even though there were two blues, it kind of looks like just the blue. There might be a little bit of the sky blue out here, but I kind of can't claim to see it. There's very little bit of the amethyst. The green is kind of spread out nicely. There's a little sheen of the amethyst, kind of a slick this way, which is nice. And there's a bunch of silver rings, silver layers throughout. Center's gone a little wonky, but it's still got a spiral. We will have to see how this thing dries. I think by torching it, I'm pulling that darker blue up through the rest of everything, because that's what it looks like it's doing with the cells. I really like the lininess over here. I like the lininess over here. Yeah, the more I torch it, the more it brings up that dark blue. That true blue, that DecoArt true blue. Got a couple of black cells coming in over here. I've left the weight of the paint over here, so I'm wondering if I should spread it a little bit more, because I can still see it sort of raised in this area. And these lines do have a little farther to go if I want to encourage them to go. But that one drizzle is going faster than everything else. Because it wants to annoy me. I'm going to kind of encourage it to fall off the edge, I think. Well, maybe not. Maybe I will just encourage it further towards the center again. Open up those lines a little more. And kind of let it decide what it wants to do from here on out. I am going to touch up that base coat black. So, ignored my thumb marks. But we'll come down and take a look at it, yeah? Here we go. Wet result. Functional art. Acrylic ring pour on a toilet tank lid. You got this lovely thing going on down the side. And I do like these ring layer things. I don't know about how that drizzly thing's going, but I'm hoping it'll come out in the wash a bit. Got our center. Got all kinds of blue and black coming up through everything. So we will see how this thing ultimately dries. Be back in a bit. Here we are with the dried result. Doesn't look too bad. Got this little random rivulet that I ain't crazy about, because it sort of spoiled the shape a little bit, but it doesn't look that bad. It's got all interesting stuff going down the side. It's got this little drip, but that's sort of symmetrical because the back did one too. We got all of the different lines and layers in the center. And then who cares what the back looks like, because it's going to be against the wall. So yeah, acrylic poured tank lid. Not too shabby. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.